Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So, Halloween has come to Halpha, and once again we have another of these seasonal events going on. And if I can say, who the heck did how the track introed here? This is ridiculous that they messed this up like this here. But that's a minor thing here. It's still nice to see Weird Night as a track back in the game. As well as the Halloween track, which we're apparently also here in the city. Weird Night was from back in Phantasy Star Online, while Halloween was in Phantasy Star Universe. So it's nice to see them bring both those tracks back for this event. But anyway, we have to talk to Xiandy down here, as she has yet another set of quests for us. Let's see what she has to say. Thank you so much for coming. I was hoping I might ask for your help with yet another investigation. Have you heard of region mags? Interestingly, their appearance changes somewhat around this time. There are also certain materials that can only be gathered during this season. I'd like to know what happens if you give them to a region mag right now. Could I ask you to gather the materials first? We have prepared a special reward for your efforts as well. Thank you for your help. Alright, so new gathering materials will appear throughout the map during seasonal events. In addition, region mags will become seasonal region mags, so looks like he's got some pumpkins around him there. Feeding limited time seasonal gathering materials to these seasonal region mags fills them up a great deal and makes them very happy. So, and of course we do have a new set of exchange items here that we can exchange the seasonal points for. Point of order on that here, actually. They've actually increased the number of points that you can earn per week up to 150,000 this time. So, nice to see that they're giving players more of a chance to earn more in a week. If, for instance, they're not able to get as many in other weeks beyond like the first week or something like that, or if they can't participate much in the first week, and so be the case. Actually, for me, I'll be releasing a video on Monday, which is both going to be a top 3 as well as an announcement video on YouTube. So definitely check that out, because it's going to have some important information in there about the next few weeks for me and the channel. But anyway, back to what we're talking about here today. Xiandy has a new exchange here. So we can get a Magform Autumn Minimo, as well as a Stamp Rappy Halloween Autumn Branch. You can, of course, get yourself some Star Gems through this event as well. Looks like 5,000 will get you 100 Star Gems. You can also get some of those new special scratch tickets. And then we have the new Flamel series, which these start at plus 25, but I expect you'll be able to bring those up to plus 40. These do have a fire element on them, and they are also 4-star rarity for once, so that is also nice to see that they finally are letting the players just actually have the highest rarity with the weapons during these events, because leaving them at 3-star for the prior two, that was silly. You've also got Monotype, Dualmite, Tridonite, Photon Chunks, Photon Quartz, Fire Exploit, of course, which will allow you to bring the fire element onto other weapons. Might 3, Precision 3, Technique 3, Alt Soul 2, Didal Soul 2, Pettis Soul 2, Next Soul 2. You've also got a bunch of Alpha Reactors that you can get. Looks like you can get 200 for 90,000 seasonal points. Then you got End Grinders, as well as some End Augmentation success rates as well, plus 10% on those. So, not that bad for the exchanges. And the fact that you're able to get more of those points per week is also a nice boost to things here. Of course, they're probably going to release more things for exchange in the 3rd and 4th week, but this is a really good start to all this here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to obtain Autumn Vampkins. So let's head out into the field and see if we can find those. And then there are also some other events going on as well here, or rather tasks. So pulling this up. So yeah, Autumn Vampkins, we need to find 5 of those, and then there are mischief symbols back in town, which we'll look for later. Also got some other limited time event tasks here, fighting with Alliance members, so form a party with 1 or more Alliance members and clear an urgent quest. Once again, we got enemies here with a special symbol over their head. If they give you points, we'll take those on in just a moment. Also got suppressing altars, suppressing dolls, suppressing enhanced enemies, suppressing dread enemies, and clearing urgent quests. And then, of course, there's also some weeklies and dailies here. So suppress Reaper Rappies, so we'll have to get lucky in finding those. Suppress enemies in defense battles, so that would be for in the mining rig urgent quest. And then there's also just seasonal enemy suppression as a daily quest, as well as foraging for Autumn Vampkins. So again, the same thing that we're going to be doing here in just a moment. But first, let's get some points here. And it looks like they are dropping about 10 points per right now. The one thing I didn't check, and we can check this when we go back into town, is if they are doing another thing with the where you can trade in some of the Star Gem scratch items. Hand those in and get yourself a point rate increase. We'll check that out when we get back to town again. But right now we're looking for the Autumn Vampkins, and actually I'm being pointed back this way for some. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Not going to go for too long tonight, probably around 2 hours or so. And we'll just get as much done as we can here tonight. Okay, that's one. Here's another. Alright, so there seem to be a decent number of them around, that's for certain. Now, something else that's going on with this event is there's also a web-linked event going on. And in particular, something that caught my eye about this whole thing is that when, I think it's the 2nd week comes around and also the 4th week, there is a goal to feed as many items as you can to the region mags. My first comment to that is, my goodness, those region mags are going to get fat from all that food. But secondly, they're really going to get fat because the way that it works is you get points for each item that you feed to them. And in that particular case, it would actually be better if you're feeding the items that provide the least number of points so you can maximize the number of items that you're giving it. So in that case, that's probably going to be the different types of meats that you can get throughout the world. And in that case, I would say you could probably get 40 items in at a time, if I remember correctly. So that would be the best way to maximize sort of what you can get from the web-linked event. To make sure that we hit all the web panel goals. But we do need to now produce a region mag boost. So I'm going to make my way over to there now. I'll also note that this is I'm running on a newly upgraded computer. Specifically, I upgraded the power supply I was using from an 860 up to a 1200. I was having some issues whereby my computer was shutting down on me when the game was running, but ever since I made the change here, things seem to be in a much better shape now. Let's see here. Did this go into my material storage? There it is. Okay. So yeah, so this gives 60 per. And since we're just looking for a single boost here... There we go. thank you so much. Actually, I need one more favor. Could you send some battle data to verify these region mag effects? Alright, so, Xiandy is sending us over to Resolve Forest now, so, let's head over to there. Yeah, apparently, an 860 was not enough to handle both, a 7900X processor as well as a 3080 Ti, GPU at the same time, so, glad I finally got that out of the way, and now I'm able to really show you kind of what a 3080 Ti can produce with this game. For the most part, I actually do run at 144 hertz, or frames per second, rather, when I am playing the game, except when I get near Central City. That's when it tends to dip down to around 90. So there must be something about Central City that's doing that. Alright, so that gives me the boost I need. Let's see if we can find a room that's a bit busier than just me. How about this one? Of course, here on Twitch and on YouTube, you're only going to get up to 60 frames per second, but at least you'll be able to see I guess you'll be able to see just as good quality as I'm able to see, at least at that frame rate. Well, aside from the fact that Twitch, of course, has a limit in terms of how fast you can send your data stream to them whenever you're streaming, which is really annoying. I wish they would increase that already, because I can technically handle twice the speed that they lock it to. Which is about 6 megabit per second. At least with YouTube, when I put these streams up on YouTube in the archive, they go up at a much higher quality than this. So ultimately, if you're watching this in the future, you're getting a higher quality stream of this than what actually goes out on Twitch. And it's unfortunate that things are like this here. It's had me wondering if maybe I should go back to YouTube for streaming PSO2 specifically. Not right now, because I'm not... if I'm going to do that, I want to be able to max that out, which it maxes out at about 50 megabit per second, and my internet connection can't handle that. So, it's something I've got on my mind, but it's something that I wouldn't be able to do necessarily until I can actually move into my own house and get out of this apartment, which I am in active attempts to do that at this point. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not quite sure how they are speaking when we are not even in a party here with me. That seems like a bug. So, let me fix something real quick. There we go. Anyway, here's the group for the area. Yeah, no kidding on that, Rooks. The only reason I moved... Well, there are several reasons I moved to Twitch, but one of the secondary reasons was to protect the YouTube channel from content ID claims. Which is still technically an issue there, but with everything that's going on with Twitch now, it's sort of like, yeah, it's happening here too. But at the same time, I'm more than happy to lose the Twitch account if my YouTube account is still good. But it's more a point that I would go back to YouTube streaming with New Genesis specifically, as long as things with the music stay on the up and up. If we start getting copyrighted songs playing in the game again, like we did with Base PSO2, then I would have to move things back to Twitch again, just so, you know, I'm not getting those claims, and then I can make the edits I need to make to the videos after the fact before it actually goes up to YouTube then. Or, I don't know, maybe, I suppose another option would be is I make the edits on YouTube, or rather, once I stream on YouTube as well, and I just delete the original stream. That might be another way to do it. Technically, you would still have the stream chat, because that shows up on the video anyway. So it's not like we'd be losing anything there. I would be losing views, although views on those would just be replaced by the uploaded recording. I don't know, I gotta think about it. But it's something that's on my mind. There's a lot of stuff that's on my mind as of late. Especially given what's going on with the channel, some of the mistakes I've made in the past, which directly affected how things ended up on the channel in the first place, which is one thing that I will be bringing up on that video on Monday. Kind of a big mistake, and I definitely, again, want to say thank you to everybody that pointed out what was going on to me, because frankly, it was something that I had completely forgotten I had even done at the time. But I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment here. Looks like we might have completed that task already here. Let's see. Any way for me to check that? Let's see. Well, it says I just need to talk to Xiandy at this point, so I guess let's head back over to Central City at this point. Yeah, that intro just comes in really weird there. Something must be going on with the sympathy system for that to be happening like that. Alright, let's check that exchange before I forget here. So, yes, I did see it here. The Halloween S points plus 100%. You can trade in either 5 Star Gem scratch items or 5 AC scratch items. New Genesis AC scratch mind you, rather. You can't trade in old costumes from PSO2 base. Would be nice if you could do that, because I got a bunch of extra costumes that just don't do anything for me right now. But yeah, this would be one way to get yourself some extra points, and given what's going on, I think I'm going to take advantage of that here. Let me see what I can actually hand over. I can hand it over one of the stubbles. And also a couple of reptilian eyes, because those are already bound to my account. And then 2 Gororian eyebrows.
There you are. Thank you very much.
So we'll be able to take advantage of that through the stream now here as well. Alright, Xiandy. Welcome back. You got some great data. There's so much we don't understand about region mags, but this data should fill in some blanks. Apparently many other researchers are interested in your services as well. I'll be sure to introduce you at some point. I sincerely appreciate your help. We can exchange your accrued points for rewards, so please let us know if you need anything. I look forward to your continued support of my research efforts. I'll be counting on you. Alright. And through just that little bit, we got about 3,392 of those points. Not really enough to do much with just quite yet here. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and finish up the dailies here. So we need to gather vegetables in South Aleo real quick. Oh yeah, no, definitely. Especially with the Ritum region coming up, we're gonna get a whole bunch more NPCs in there. And speaking of the Ritum region, actually, the text for the tablet got translated, uh, and the text that's on there says, "Beginning of Ritum, hone your skills, save the weak, sustain harmony of the city." So. And that was translated through a font that was introduced back when New Genesis was launched, and so players were able to translate that text. Doesn't really give us too much, except sort of like what the mantra of the area might be, maybe, or whatever that city is that's built into the crash. I don't know what you want to call it, rocket or ship or whatever that thing is. But yeah, we're just, at this point, we're just kind of going around, and, once we finish up the dailies, then I'll pop the booster that I picked up a couple of minutes ago here, and, actually start, trying to gather up some points. There don't seem to be too many of these vegetables out here, actually. I don't see much, if we don't see anything over here for a bit, then, we'll try near, where the tower quest is instead. Let's see, this is about the exit to the area. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Let's head over to this Ryokar device instead, see what we can find over there. Ah, here we go. There's one. And here's another. And another over here. Yeah, I should have come over here from the start, because this is the last one. And that does it for all the dailies I've got today. So that... or no, actually, there's one more here. Suppress enemies at Vanford Lab Ruins 2. So we'll head over there. Gonna check to make sure that they actually do have the symbols above their head before I actually pop the booster. Hey, Zeomantic, how you doing today? 4. Let's try to find a busier room. I'm hanging in there. Only resolve. Alright, then we'll just knock this out real quick and then take it from there in terms of heading back over to resolve so we can actually gather up points and such. I'm still going to be getting some credit here, though, since this place does ask me to suppress altars and dolls, though. Yeah, of everything, I'm surprised they haven't asked players to start taking out Gigantics yet, though. Or even participating in Battle Dia, either. Let's see. Yeah, probably. Turn this down a bit more here. Yeah, sorry, the audio in this game just is kind of all over the place sometimes, when it comes to just making sure that you know, you got balanced audio, but it's really quiet and then really loud during battles. It's kind of crazy that way. Yeah, it's not casual content, but at the same time, if they gave it if they gave you like a reward of like for doing one a week, and you got 10,000 points out of it, I would find that to be at least a decent thing to go after. Alright, are we gonna get this? Yes! I mean, in terms of other things I've been thinking about as of late, I've kind of been realizing that I made a promise that I never kept back when Global released, which was actually going through to completion on episodes 1 to 3. And what I mean by that is I kind of rushed through those back during the Global beta for that. And I never really went back to actually watch how all those scenes actually played out. Not to mention, I completely skipped any of the side content in there as well. So at some point, now that we've got the graphical update in play here, I'm going to go back and actually go ahead and go through that. And the only reason I rushed it in the first place was because I already knew the story having come over from the Japanese version. Oh, Zeomantic, I've got those. It's all kind of in a mishmash, but I've got those Matterboard scenes. At least the majority of them. Some of them I didn't have time to get before the Matterboard went away. But I've got a large majority of them. There's also a sequence that never came to Global that I'm debating how I want to handle it at this point, because it's unlikely it's ever going to be released at this point now. But it was an event that featured Emilia and Vivienne from Phantasy Star Portable 2 showing up on Oracle. And we have the English lines, and I've got video of what was done on the Japanese version. At least, I'm trying to remember if I had it translated or not at the time. But it's another thing that I'm considering maybe doing a video on. But it's like I've got a whole bunch of other things that are going on at the same time that if I'm going to address things like this, it's not going to happen until at least 2022. If not 2023 at this rate. Yeah, and it's such a shame that they never brought the that function over to Global. I get they did it because there was no Matterboard to begin with on the Global side, but at the same time, that's an important piece of history that went missing. Alright, let's find a fuller room. Alright, and let's go ahead and pop that Halloween points booster, and let's go to town. So it looks like everybody is kind of on the far side of the field there, so for the moment I'm going to stick over here, get what kills I can, and hopefully we'll meet up in a moment here. Actually, come to think of it, I should head back to town real quick, because I still haven't finished up leveling Bouncer just quite yet, so I should take advantage of this moment here to work on that as we're working towards getting seasonal points as well. I'm close on it, I got about a level and a quarter left, I think, to get that up to 20, and the only reason I'm getting everything up to 20 is because I'm expecting when the titles finally come out, that there's going to be rewards for leveling up characters all the way to 20. Yeah, Laconium's sword was like the only one that seemed to actually make sense in terms of a camel, because of the animations that play with the sword in New Genesis. All right. Okay, good. Full room. Brooks, it looks like a spot just opened up, so if you can get in quick. I think that's you. And yeah, once again, I've gone back to my old ways of do as I say, not as I do here, because I'm leveling Bouncer with just my sword again, and it's what can I say? Sword is my favorite thing to use. Gotcha, Zeomantic. But yeah, going back, there were even some other events that Global didn't get that kind of tied directly to even that visit that Amelia and Vivienne did. In particular, there was a time when Nagisa, of all characters, showed up. Nagisa being from Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity. Now, I don't think their stuff ever got translated by the team in time for before she left the game. But I think I've at least got maybe some screenshots of her. I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm trying to go back through my video archive. I'm trying to clean up older videos that I just don't need the raw footage from anymore. In some of the after a certain event happened, I kind of became a little bit of a data hoarder, so I hang on to stuff a little bit longer than I should, and I'm trying to fix some of that. But again, that'll be for the video on Monday. Ah, nice, another PSE burst. And it's nice to also see next Alio actually a fire element for once. I mean, you'd think the thing spits fire all the time, it would be a fire element. Or maybe I've got that backwards, actually, because I'm thinking No, it should be strong against fire, not weak to fire. What am I saying? And hey, Krabados, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, and something I'm always arguing with myself about as well is just the fact that, yeah, Phantasy Star is my primary thing, but at the same time, there are other games out there that I want to play on stream, and I'm like, how much can I actually play without losing the audience that I have? To your point, I actually, back a few years ago, I also took a break from Phantasy Star on the channel, but that ended up costing me to lose subscribers than gain subscribers, and I realized at that point, okay, I gotta do something, and that's when I started up my old Blueburst series, which is something I gotta get back to at some point. Yeah, it definitely did grab the short straw. Definitely having everything jammed in within a single year really set a bad example for how fast content would be coming out. With New Genesis, it's actually not that far off from the launch of PSO2 base. There are some things where it is slower, but I mean, a story chapter every 6 months was not that uncommon on base for the Japanese side. Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm looking at too. If you go back into the Twitch channel history here, I actually did do Deltarune Chapter 2 as well as Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remastered fairly recently. And then I'm looking at Endwalker in November, but there's going to be a big if behind that one, which, again, video on Monday is going to explain that. Technically, Ritem is also an if, but yeah. Yeah, now they got Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster coming out November 10th, which I'm like, okay, that's an interesting timing on that one, but at the same time, really, because what, you got Endwalker happening 9 days after that. And frankly, I'm going to be really curious if the team over at that does the 4-job Fiesta thing, if they're going to be doing a little mini event for the launch of that or not. If you've ever heard of 4-job Fiesta before, there's a bot that they use called Gilgabot, whereby basically you tell it what rule set you want to play under, and it is going to assign each of your characters different classes to play. And it's a huge event that happens each year for charity. I've been tempted to hop into that a couple of times, and that's kind of one of the things I would want to do as a variety streamer. But at the same time, you know, I've still got a lot of stuff from the classic Phantasy Star series to do back in Algol. I still got to finish my Blueburst series. I need to finish Phantasy Star Universe Ambition of the Luminous. I got to get back to Idola Phantasy Star Saga. I got to get back to Phantasy Star Online 2S. I got to get back to just a whole bunch of Phantasy Star Zero even. I got to get back to all these different series that I started, and I'm ending up with a kind of a reputation of having started a whole bunch of stuff but not finishing things. But I suppose the timing of Global really did kind of throw a monkey wrench into all of that last year, and we've kind of been sort of non-stop aside from the few months up until the launch of New Genesis. But the thing I've learned is, or I guess the thing that I ultimately do in the end, is I just do whatever I want to do. I may stress out over it, but in the end, I'm happy with whatever I do decide to do. Whether it is focusing back in the Phantasy Star series, or doing something variety. Some of the stuff has happened on Discord as of lately. Granted, not in the last few weeks for me, but there has been stuff that's been going on Discord, where I'm trying different games. Like, one of the ones I tried was Hitman for the first time. I had a bunch of fun with that. And what I'm doing is, whenever I'm streaming on there, even on Discord, is I am taking a recording of things. So if I decide I do want to put it up on the channel, I can do that. Hey, another PSE burst. Okay. Get some damage out with Photon Blast. Might as well. It's not going to do much else for me. Yay, level 19. So one more level to go. But it is nice to finally be able to get seasonal points in a region other than Mount Magnus for once. Frankly, I wish all the regions were, or rather all the battle areas were open for these events. Really doesn't make any sense that it's restricted to just a single one. Yeah, and even recently, I didn't put this out to the subscribers, but I did upload a video recently that kind of took a meme from a couple of years back that was going on with Neon Genesis Evangelion of all things. Put this up on my YouTube channel, whereby basically there was a thing where people were replacing the animation from the ending credits of that show with things like Patrick from SpongeBob riding on a horse, or like a cone spinning around and around on an escalator. And I was like, you know what? I got an old scene where my character was just spinning uncontrollably back in base PSO2, and I thought, let me go ahead and upload that. And so that's up now if anybody wants to check that out. I would like to be able to even put out like little funny videos like that, and maybe next time I'll put it out to the subscribers, I don't know. What I have noticed is, like, over the past couple of months, my channel has basically completely stagnated in terms of growth, and I'm like, okay, what can I really do at this point? And that's why I'm starting to think of, like, trying to go into variety streaming, but at the same time, I'm also worried that because of other events that have happened on my channel, it may be permanently sort of blacklisted by the algorithm. Again, something else for the Monday video, so yeah, I'm kind of putting a lot of lead into this, but it's also like a really important video that I ask everybody to check out, because once that goes out, there's gonna be some stuff going on that you don't know about that I'm gonna finally reveal.
Success.
Alright, where are we so far? Let's see. Oh, we still got a while to go on the booster. Okay. But we've also gotten a decent number of points so far here as well. With any luck, I might actually be able to hit level 20 by the time that booster ends. Let's see, what else? My goodness, this platform is kind of hard to get up to. Here we go.
This is an emergency transmission. Trial start.
But yeah, even just for my own development with the games themselves throughout the Phantasy Star series, I mean, in the research I do, I often get spoiled on some stuff that a lot of other people might not when they go fresh into a game within the Phantasy Star series. So I may know the essence of like the different story plots that happen in different games, but there are some games that I simply have never completed before, despite that. Phantasy Star Zero was one of them, and that's one that I started this year, if I remember correctly, which, once again, I gotta get back to and actually finish that up so I can at least say, okay, I finally finished it. Actually, Phantasy Star 3 Generations of Doom, that's another one. I understand what happens in the endings of those and how they kind of connect with the rest of the Algol series, but at the same time, I've never actually finished that one. And I know if I ever go back to Algol, I need to make a decision about which game I'm going to tackle next, because I've tackled the original Phantasy Star at this point. I did that several years back, and there is a playlist on YouTube for that. But then I have to make a decision of, okay, what's going to be next after that? Do I want to go to Copto and take on Phantasy Star Gaiden? Do I want to do the 8 Phantasy Star 2 text adventures, which are lead up to Phantasy Star 2? And then when it comes to Phantasy Star 2 and End of the Millennium, how long do I actually want to spend on those? Because there is the potential that I could potentially, I gotta stop saying potential over and over, but I could continue to play those after I've completed them for the channel, because there are randomizers out for those 2 games, which randomize the different item drops and treasure chests and such. And I have had an interest in randomizers in the past, In fact, the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, I've played a few rounds of that randomizer before. Yeah, I know about Free Enterprise, and I'm hoping that they might eventually be able to bring that over to the Pixel Remaster as well. Actually, I would love to see a randomizer for the original Phantasy Star. It'd be interesting to see what you could actually do with events in that game to, for instance, say you open a box and that causes a boss to pop up. Or let's say, rather than your neighbor being the guy that gives you the Laconium pot at the start of the game, instead it's Lashik that's inside of there.
Trial start.
Unfortunately, I don't have the coding skills to pull something like that off. No kidding. When it comes to Final Fantasy IV, there is one music track in particular that every single remix I have heard ever, aside from the Pixel Remaster, was frankly complete crap to me. And it was because it used just the fakest sounding horn you had ever heard, but because they went orchestral with the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, finally, The Giant Within had a decent horn that actually made the track enjoyable. And you know, that's another thing that I'm interested in. Just game music in general, not just only within the Phantasy Star series, but elsewhere as well. Like, I've just got, I've got playlists of like the different Final Fantasy games and the music that comes in those, because, you know, between Nobuo Uematsu and Soken, they put out some really great tracks. The Mega Man series, particularly the classic Mega Man series, in my case, I enjoy that music as well. And then even other games like the Lunar series, if you have to remember that from the Sega CD and the PlayStation era. Technically, Sega Saturn as well in Japan. And then, of course, there are just bangers as well. In, you know, anything Toby Fox puts out is just amazing. And Wolfric, yeah, I saw No Straight Roads Encore, but if I gotta pay for that when I already paid full price on the original, I'm probably gonna pass that one up. But that was another one that I did variety streaming on No Straight Roads. That's on YouTube at this point. Ah, hey, we got a storm, so that'll give us a better chance at a PSE burst. Yeah, no, I agree. The Sega Rock stuff is actually pretty decent, if you've ever heard of those remixes.
Trial start. Success. Burst.
There's a burst. I've heard of Gunmetal before. I'm not sure I've ever heard their Phantasy Star remixes, though. Yeah, of all remixes for PSO2, though, I'm surprised we never got a Laughter remix. But there's another YouTuber I watch that does actually they do retro mixes of tracks, and in fact they put out a Sega Genesis version of Idola the Strange Fruits. It's a YouTuber by the name of JX. I think they're Korean actually.
PSE Climax.
And I'm tempted to do something with that when it comes time for whenever I do address End of the Millennium, whereby I might change some of the music up and actually have that playing, even though it's not true to the original. It'd still be a fun thing to have pop up on people. How did that hit me from behind here? And up they go. Yeah, episode 3 wasn't for everybody, but that is definitely one that I want to address at some point. There is a lot of detail in there that kind of gives you a bit more story. And, yeah, Zio, I did do a speed run of that. Wow, that was, like, over 15 years ago, I think. I haven't done any speed running in a really long time. Yeah, somewhere between 3 and 4 hours, if I remember correctly. Alright, let's see if we can get a second burst going here. With the storm going.
Trial start. PSE burst.
Alright, there's another burst. Ow. Grats there, Angel. But when it came to me and speedrunning, to put it simply, that was a very different age to how speedrunning is today. You don't... Back then, it was very competitive between players, where people really weren't sharing the secrets they use. Nowadays, everybody looks at it more as sort of like a collaborative effort. And also back then, segmented runs were a more common thing as well. Just because Speed Demos Archive was kind of the only thing around at the time that was even doing the thing. In fact, when Speed Demos Archive launched for their non-Quake content. I was actually there at the start. I was there with Radix and Nate as they were talking about kind of how to get all that launched. And in fact, it kind of started because Nate had a site called Metroid 2002, whereby that was sort of where players were uploading, or not really uploading, but they were reporting what their completion times were. I was on there. In fact, I think I'm still on there. If you're able to... is the site even still up? Let me check real quick. Let's see. Metroid 2002. Yeah, it's still up. So if you go under the Return of Samus section on there, and you look for the Spider Ball throw, as well as the sequence break sections, you're gonna find me in there. I was the one that kind of found out those techniques. The Spider Ball throw being a way to quickly move around a bit quicker than your normal run rate. And then the sequence break being a way of basically diving into some of the acid in that game to get to Metroid a bit quicker and speed things up. It wasn't a huge time save, but it still saved a little bit of time. But those efforts with Metroid then led to Radix, who owned Speed Demos Archive, particularly with their what they were doing with Quake, and it convinced him to expand things out to basically accept every game. And one of the first things he ever put out was a Metroid Prime run, and then I followed that up with a Metroid 2 Return of Samus run fairly quickly after that. Obviously, it's been obsoleted for many, many years at this point. And these days, if I were to ever do any speed runs again, what I would do is more sort of a pace-setting sort of thing, rather than, doing all the full research. I would just, at a base level, look at what would seem to be the fastest route. Just go ahead and run that, and just call that good, and let other people kind of start doing, like, the data mines and things like that to figure out things that might be faster. The one I have always been tempted to do, even though it's many years since I stopped doing speedruns, was a run of Phantasy Star Universe. I figure I can maybe get that done in maybe somewhere between 8 to 9 hours. And in fact, I did start a run like that, but due to file space constraints, I could never actually do the whole thing.
Operation against a large number of dolls appearing in the Alio region. All ARCS defenders, please prepare for deployment.
All right, looks like we got a mining rig defense coming up here. Yeah, not that Radix. I know. In fact, I know he's streaming right now as well.
Success.
Yeah, it's funny that I kind of know two Radixes. Although I really haven't talked to those guys back on Speed Demos Archive in, my goodness, like over 10 years at this point. So I'm basically out of the community. I did do a run on Metroid 2 a year or two ago, just to put a time up on on speedruns.com, but it's not what it is anymore with me. Actually, actually, he's chatting here, so let me go ahead and pop that open real quick. Let's see here, because that's one of the tasks anyway that needs to get done. What is that? That is...
Trial stop.
Oh, we found Reaper Rappies at some point, and I didn't even notice. So... It's a seasonal, weekly, and then... Yeah, here we go. Clear urgent quests. And then fighting with Alliance members, too.
PSE burst.
Hey, PSE Burst!
Success.
It is so rare that I ever actually get the Avenger to go off correctly with this weapon. Well, thanks for checking out both our streams, then.
PSE climax.
I figure when the time comes, we're not going to be able to complete the urgent quest before my booster runs out, but that's probably going to be a good place to end today as well. I'm still looking forward to seeing where these dolls are coming from, what their story is, and everything like that. I'm still of the belief at this point that they were intended to be the next generation cast, and another mother entity went crazy on us here. Up they go. And my inventory is full. There we go, that gives me some space. But hopefully we'll finally get some more answers once the region opens up. I'm really curious about that Trinia that we see, which is that big pyramid. I'm kind of hopeful that that's going to be sort of like the first real raid content that we're getting in this game. I mean, tower quests are nice and such, but it'd be nice to have some sort of, I guess, training raid content that's more than 4 players. I could see that pyramid either being that or the first kind of PvP content in the game as well. But I guess we'll see soon enough. Now, I just realized that person that was talking before might have actually been an NPC. The person that was talking in party chat. Alright, I figure we'll head back to Central City and head over to Block 10 in about 2 minutes here. That'll be enough time for me to get a few other things organized before the urgent quest pops. Actually, maybe it makes sense to do it now, because actually this room has emptied out of players somehow. I guess everybody else might be trying to get themselves set up, so... Alright, let me pop a Photon Blast, see if I can take out one of these real quick. Nice. Alright, back to Central City. Rooks, I'm thinking you're probably going to want to join us for this urgent quest as well? Oh, actually, we're already on Block 10. How about that? So, in that case...
Welcome.
Alright, let's see what else we can get rid of here. Yeah, just a whole bunch of weapons drop, and they basically are kind of useless at this point.
Thank you very much. Drop in again sometime.
But that should give me enough space for this. Let me combine those Prim Swords up. Nice. And that's the reason I always do 4 instead of 5 of them, just in the chance that I happen to get a great success and it just boosts it automatically to 12 instead of 17.
A success! A success! Come again!
Looks like I already had a Flammo Spear drop, as well as Flammo Machine Guns as well, so nice. Those are things I won't have to worry about getting now. I am curious, though, if... So it looks like it is locked to certain weapon types again here. I don't see the sword anywhere. Ah, gotcha, Rooks. I am on ship number 1. And thanks for tuning in.
See you later.
Let's see. I need to update the title, actually, because right now I am a Bouncer Hugh. There we go. And I am a bouncer that's just using a sword, because that's the weapon I'm most familiar with. Actually, I should just go ahead and max some of this stuff out here. Because a lot of this stuff is just main class only, or uses specific weapons.
Come by anytime, okay? Welcome.
And I've got like 12 characters, so I've got plenty of end reset passes if I need them. But we're probably going to be getting another round of those reset passes, actually, once the Ritum region opens up and level 35 comes out.
See you later. How are you?
Alright, real quick, Xiandy. So, we've gotten 46,000 of the seasonal points so far. And that would actually be enough for 100 alpha reactors. Yeah, back with base PSO2, there were advantages for having more than the 3 free characters, particularly with doing weekly missions. And that you could get yourself quite a bit of Meseta from that. That was kind of the way to gain Meseta if you didn't do the AC scratch every week. Alright, this should be popping any second here.
Attention all Arcs defenders. We are beginning a defensive operation against a large number of dolls appearing in the Alio region.
There we go.
We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
So, part of the reason I did that was so I could get myself just tons of costumes. So, all these costumes... All these costumes, I was able to get for free without having to pay AC for them, just because I had all that Meseta available to me. There's even more on all those other characters that you can't see here, because each one has 300 character-specific storage spots.
Attention all Arcs
And eventually I was able to make bank with that, as PSO2 started to wind down for the base version.
We request the participation of all Arcs defenders.
Alright, here we go, Wave 1. But the main reason I did that was so I could collect star gems from all those costumes, and that's why I've got over 15,000 star gems on this account right now. It's just because I purchased all those costumes through Meseta, and because of that, I am probably never going to have to worry about not being able to pay for material storage and things like that. Looking around to see if any of the spots are popping up. I'm not seeing any. Oh, actually, there's one right over here. And then, of course, if I ever see anything in a Star Gem scratch, I can just pay what I need to get to the ticket and just use that for anything specific that I'm looking for. In fact, that's how I got the Eritron skinhead way back in the past. Let's see if this still works. Let's see. Yeah, so that's how I've got this this look here, where I just don't have any hair. So. And once again, this urgent quest, the key thing to this one is just control of the enemies. You just want to tag them and then hang on to them. Try to maximize your time without allowing any of the enemies to explode on you at the end of the round. You do that, you're going to give yourself more time to collect points, which will be useful in the final waves. Alright, wave 3 is coming up. Alright, we got access to the mobile cannon. Next wave is coming up. Oh, and did somebody seriously duck out already? I mean, we're still in S-rank territory here. Well, anytime somebody does that and they're the first person out, there's always the risk that they could get banned for that. I'm taking some good hits here. But that's partly because I'm not a hunter force right now. I am a bouncer hunter. Alright, you know, we still got a minute here. We can drag this guy around here with us and collect some points. Really? You got me from that far away? I'm surprised nobody else is coming out here, but I guess everybody else has the same idea. There we go. Gonna have to grab some restimates a little bit earlier than usual. Alright, we are storming. And we got an orc up here. Hey, nice, we've actually got a ranger out here using Blight Bullet. Alright, I'm gonna take out this dots, because that's just going for the towers. Looks like Orange got infected here, and I don't think anybody sees it. Oh, somebody does. Alright, on to the 5th wave. And this is where we gotta kind of keep an eye on all 3 lanes and see which one the boss is gonna come down, because we gotta grab that quick. Coming down the right. Yeah, I guess we'll see at the end of this here if I've actually been getting any more of those seasonal points or not. or if it only counts at the end of the mission. There's a tower out in the distance. I gotta grab that. Oh no, somebody else is already getting on it. Okay. But we're gonna have to definitely take out the rest of these dolls, because we only got a minute left on this wave. The last thing we need are our mining rigs going up in smoke. Alright, looks like the boss is the only thing that's left now. Nice. I'm gonna restock my rest assign again. Alright, big guy's coming up. Question is, can I grab it? Looks like I did. Somebody else is already on the tower that's popped up. But we got 2 infected towers down south. Alright, No, they're on me. I gotta stay up here. Or no, they're going for the mining rigs. We gotta watch this guy. As soon as I see that they leave their seat, I'm gonna call out that that they've left. We've also got towers up, many towers. Alright, they're stunned. I'm actually saving my Photon Blast for when they try to do that one-hit KO on one of the rigs. They seem to be bouncing back and forth between rigs. That's not the worst thing to have happen here if it's confused like this. Alright, where'd it go? Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, looks like other players managed to get it. No, as of right now, all of our towers are still technically up. We're not having that bug happen just quite yet here. Oh, that's not good. We got a wave of dolls coming in. I didn't know that would actually defend against that. Learn something every day. Alright, wave 7. Unfortunately, I'm a bit out of position to do anything out there this time. Alright, boss appearing on the east side. Oh, I'm down. This guy has an enhancement on his leg. Alright, that did some damage to it. Alright, tower's up to the north, but I see players are already after him. Good. There we go. Enhancement is down. Up they go. Infection in the middle. And and on purple as well. That is a bunch of dolls coming down into the middle, and they're gonna go into bomb mode in just a second here. So again, I'll go ahead and pop that. Alright, it's time to start healing up the damage on these things. Final wave. Let's get what damage we can on the next Alio here. Got another of these guys. This Destragras. Let's try to grab it. Again, all I'm doing is just holding this guy out here so he doesn't get close to where the mining rigs are. I'm leaving the rest of the enemies to the rest of the team. Orange has an infection. Two minutes remaining on this wave. If I'm being honest, I haven't used my mobile cannon yet. Alright, the rest of the players are coming up. Alright, just in case anything happens at the end here, I want to make sure I'm ready for a final wave. I'll leave the rest to that, or rather to the rest of the group. Because I'll be honest, this is like only the second or third, and I can't remember if this guy was the last thing that shows up. Nope, there's more. I don't have the photon points. Alright, Alright, final wave clear. And we got an S rank on it, despite losing a player early on. Nice! Alright, so what do we get here? We got an Evolcoat wire. And the rest is just a bunch of drops, it looks like. Alright. So with that, let's head back to the city. Alright, so at this point we would still need to find some of the Reaper Rappies, which actually I haven't seen any of them yet. We're out of daily tasks as well as... that's right, the last thing we were going to do and look at here was to try to find the symbols for, the mischief symbols this time. And the way that they look is actually, they look like a bunch of tombstones here. As well as a witch's hat in front of them. So, here's one of them. And we're just gonna have to look around and see where they are. Here's another. That's another there.
Eradication of dolls in accordance with Defense Directive confirmed. Thank you for your contribution to the mission.
Let's see, is there anything around here? Nothing obvious. Here's one. Let me set the task real quick just so I can see how many are left. So, need to find 4 more. Here's one. Here's another. 2 to go. That looks like one. Alright, one left to find. Nothing up here. I guess that makes sense. This is since the other one was kind of close down to the floor there. I think I got this one already. Let me double check. Yeah. Alright, looks like this one got hidden really, really well here. Let's see, I got that one. Oh, right here. There we go. And so that's where all 10 of the mischief symbols are. Alright. And so that now leaves me with just figuring out what I'm going to be picking up here. So, definitely Might 3. That's an obvious thing for me.
As you wish.
And then I'll also grab the fire exploit as well. Oh my goodness, you can get 300 of those or 100 of these this time. That is quite a lot, actually. I think I'll start with 30. Maybe pick up some more later. Now, Didal Soul is also going to be a good one for me, since that gives me both Photon Points and melee weapon potency.
As you wish.
As well as Alt Soul 2, because that gives me damage resistance. That's useful for my units. Especially as a hunter. And yeah, no Flamel Sword, unfortunately, which is really disappointing. So, if I wanted to do something with a sword, I'd have to put that fire exploit to use then. Alright, I think all of these here will finish up what I'm gonna grab for now here. The Mag Form, the Stamp Wrapping Halloween, the Autumn Branch, the Star Gems, as well as special scratch tickets.
As you wish.
Of course, this event is gonna run for multiple weeks, which will allow you to pick up even more, depending upon how many seasonal points you actually get. But this was pretty nice. 60,000 in just the couple of hours that we've been going here today. Oh, and looks like through this I also finally finished up my mission pass here. So that's now in overrun mode, which basically gives me access to all of this in the final tiers. Let me grab the special scratch ticket here. The Battle Trigger Ale Yellow. And actually, I guess I should ask, should we, let me say it in party, in the team chat here. Because I think actually that would then push me up to level 20 at that point, if we do a run of that. Okay, and then that takes away any risks I had left, if we do 2 runs of it then. Let's see what Radix says here. And then that... Okay, Radix says they are gonna join us. Okay, cool. So, I'll start making my way out to West Aleo then. But yeah, this is kind of how, like last time, I was saying, when it comes to these triggers, you might actually do something where you've got multiple players that just have a bunch of triggers all set to go, and just kind of call it a raid night at that point. And so I'm really curious about the about what kind of triggers we're going to have over in the Ritum region as well. Now, I recently ran my first purple trigger. That one was kind of interesting. I think Rooks and Radix, I think, were in there. Or maybe it was somebody else. But that one was interesting because it was really the first time I was using not just only my sword, but also the rod I have combined onto this Straga sword. And I was using it to help with to get the elemental downs happening. Yeah, it looks like you're all here. Oh, hey, we actually have a fourth in here with us, it looks like. Let's see who this is. Almato. Alright. Let me see if I can pull them. No, I can't actually pull them into the party. Oh well. Having fun on your hoverboard there, huh? Yeah, I'm still waiting for this emote to come out as a motion. That is the one motion that I would probably ever go for if the on all fours could be turned into an actual motion. Alright, last room. But yeah, even though I really wasn't talking in that purple trigger, and the rest of the Time for War actually was talking. I'm tempted to upload that. We didn't complete the quest, but we did take out 4 of the 5 Gigantics in that one. Might be fun to... I don't know. Can't really call it a commentary-less one, because other people were chatting in that one. I don't know. Oh, only 3 of 5. Okay. I thought we had 4. Alright, level 20. Thank you. Alright, give me a quick moment. I'm gonna swap to Hunter Force now. So I got my full power, and then I will be back in the zone in just a moment.
Thanks for stopping by.
Alright, main to Hunter, subclass to Force.
Come by anytime, okay?
Alright, I'm back in the zone. So it should be able to suck me in as soon as they pop another trigger there. But yeah, it's nice to have everything leveled now. I think I'm more of a fan of the Photon Blades than I am the Jet Boots when it comes to Bouncer, and it's just purely that, for Bouncer, yeah, well, it has a pretty powerful combo on the normal attack once you put the skill points in. It's really hard to get that off. Oh, only the leader can start. Okay, then let me hand this over to you, Rooks. Yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to test out new wing designs here. Earlier I was wearing a metal wing. Then we got this trio of wings, but I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of that or not, either. Ah, nice. Well, we don't have to do too many runs here. Especially since all of us are level 20 here. But it's still nice to be able to just get the items at the end. Gotcha. Plus, I don't think these are seasonal enemies in here. Alright, here we go again. Oh, how'd that one get over there? Last room. There goes silver. And let's finish off gold. Alright, I think I'm good for one more. So Radix, if you want to pop that, let's get leader over to you. Oh my goodness, I can't stay up that late. I should take a look at the new stamp I picked up. Looks nice. I wish there was a way to activate this so it would let you in earlier if you like said yes at a console or something like that. I mean, there's not much reason to really have this kind of waiting period here. I mean, I can get grabbing the restless sign and the reverse sign, but at the same time, it doesn't take that long to grab it. Alright, on to the silver and gold bosses! And that'll do it. Yeah, as a hunter, with Massive Hunter active, I can pretty much just say to whatever target I'm looking at, I don't care what you're attacking me with. Granted, it would be nice if the timer lasted a bit longer on that. There we go. That's true. Alright. So thank you to Brooks and Radix for coming with me on these missions here. That's going to do it for me today. As I mentioned before, got an important video coming up on Monday. Definitely make sure to check it out. It's going to be a combination top 3 and announcement video. Daedon's arcs may or may not happen this weekend. It's kind of up in the air right now. But if it happens, it'll happen on YouTube. But for everybody here on Twitch, that's watching on Twitch rather, thank you for tuning in. And anybody that's on YouTube, also thank you for tuning in once this goes live over there. With all that said, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off.